Hey guys, welcome back to a new episode of The Rowen Taylor Show. This is episode 3 of The Rowen Taylor Show. In this episode, I am going to be answering the questions that people have left in the comments of my videos. Hey guys, I have just opened up my YouTube studio page for my channel, and I am currently now at the comments section. And I am now going to be putting in my little word that I put in, question, and scroll to the bottom because I kind of want to answer them in order, so that way if there's any future comments I'll easily be able to start from the last comment that I've started on or ended on. So I am gonna start I guess down here. The first question on the bottom, hey, are you going to be making any drone videos? Now that is a good question because I just might be making some drone videos. I'm not sure when, I'm not sure what it'll be about, but I would say that drone videos are a pretty good possibility. Because I have a drone and I have to use it sometime, and I guess I could use it for this video. Question. That question was from a user named Wade Taylor. Next question is from someone named Brenda Fry, and their question is, when can I look forward to the next Rowen Taylor video? Now this was 3 weeks ago. Since then, I have made a video called Talked episode 1 interviewing Hudson or something like that, and that one was released last week or 2 weeks ago. And well, for this week now, this video would be the video you can look forward to, which is being released on the 21st or 22nd, depending on how long it takes to edit, which it shouldn't. And next question comes from a person named Hudson Fritz. I've answered this question in the interview video, but I'll answer it here again because I've come up with a better answer. Why do people like sauerkraut? My guess is because it has a weird combination between sweet and sour that for some reason people like. And on to the next question. This person's name is Owen McCauley. We have 2 in a row here, so he must be a frequent flyer or viewer. And this question is, are you an alien? And by that question, I would have to ask, what do you mean by alien? Because if you mean, am I from another country, am I from like another country, then I would say no. But if you're talking about from outside of this planet, I would say maybe, possibly. Next question by Owen McCauley is, why does Apple keep changing its chargers? And number 2, why? Now, I only remember Apple ever changing its charger once. Maybe I'm behind, but as far as I can tell, it only ever changed from the iPad charger to an Apple charger. And I guess you could count the wireless chargers as a change, but really that can be used for any phone. And for the wireless charger answer is because it's easier to put your phone on a pad than to grab the little thing and plug it in to your phone, because that's just too much effort. You have to, if you have a case, open this thing up, you have to plug it in, and then you have to set your phone down. That is a lot of work. Whereas now, with this new pad, you can set your phone down and see the little bzz on your phone, and boom, that is the answer. That's why. And next question is also by Brenda Fry. This question is, will there ever be a show where the person being interviewed can only answer with the 8-ball? Now, I get what this is in context to, because in that talked episode, I just remembered the full title, File/Candidates/F/Hutchin Fritch. Well, that is actually a good idea. I should have one of those, because that can lead to very funny situations. But one thing right now is I might have to do something to the 8-ball I currently have, because I have it right here, and if you can see it, I'm not sure how well this shows up on camera. I guess I can use my phone light, but there's a lot of bubbles in there, and it's kind of hard to read. So unless it clears up, actually with the phone it's a lot more easier to read, because you can see it through the bubbles. So I guess I can do that now that the bubbles seem to be subsiding, and with a camera or a light source you can see it. And it says, to suit for this question, decidedly so. So from the 8-ball and from me, I can do a question where someone, or an interview where someone answers using the 8-ball. Okay, next question. There's 2 in a row that are from a user named Wade Taylor. It's actually 3 questions. And it is, the first 2 is, should I buy Bitcoin? In which I have no idea. That's really up to you. I don't really know all too much about that stuff, because, well, I'm not old. I don't think I'm old enough to get Bitcoin, because I'm not an adult. So, you know. And for the glasses question, the Hudson's glasses look pretty cool. Where did he get them? I don't know. You'd have to ask Hudson, because I don't know. And the last question from him is, question. Your hair looks cool. What kind of conditioner do you use? In which I have to say, I don't use a conditioner. The shampoo bottle that I use doesn't have any sort of conditioner in it, so unless the label is lying and it says it has conditioner when it doesn't say that, then I don't use conditioner. It's just natural this way with the maintenance of washing it. Okay. Okay, the last question of today. Now I know there wasn't too many questions, but that's how things are when you have your first ever YouTube channel. At first there's not as many people to ask you questions, but sooner or later there are going to be many people asking me questions, because more and more people will see all of my stuff. So, this question, to go back to here, is by someone named Rotten Tomatilo. Something like that. Obviously a play on Rotten Tomatoes. And the question is, I noticed you included a glimpse of time travel. What are your thoughts on the grandfather paradox. And for that, I have to say, you notice that in the... I have to say, well, the grandfather paradox is a little complicated, because that's, if you don't know, that's when you go back in time and kill your grandfather. Would you be one that make it impossible for you to be born to commit the act? In which I have to say, I believe in the multiverse theory, where if I were to go back in time and kill my grandfather, that branch would just split into an alternate universe, and with some complicated means of time travel, I would either use a simpler version of time travel that would enable me to go back to the current point in time, or if I used a more complicated form of time travel that's able to go across dimensions, or not dimensions, realities or universes, to be able to cross into that timeline. Actually, that it's confusing when you're thinking about time travel, because it depends on how you think time travel works, because you can either think the complicated form of time travel is going back to your time, or you can think the more complicated version of time travel is going to the new timeline, where like the more complicated one would be to go back to your timeline, because now you're in a reality that goes into a different direction. So, scratch that point of me saying the going back to your current timeline would be the simple one. That would actually be the complicated one. The easy one to go to would be the new timeline, because that is now the point in time in which your universe is set in. Because once you commit that act, you create that alternate universe. You're now in that alternate universe. So when you go to the future or the present, or go back to the future, to quote the title, you would hit that timeline's future, because in the form of time travel that you use, you would be sticking in the same universe. But if you somehow have a time machine that can go in between timelines, you would then be able to go back to that original timeline in which you go back and kill your grandfather. So to simply answer the question, no, or I don't think killing your grandfather in the past would cause any sort of paradox. I simply think it would split into an alternate timeline, and you can either go back to the timeline you started in, or you could go the easier route and the more simple route, because if you were to go back in time and kill your grandfather, you would want to be in the future, I would think, or else you'd never do it in the first place. So the simple one would be to go to the alternate timeline now. So yeah, that's the answer. The answer is my thoughts on the time grandfather paradox is killing your grandfather in the past won't cause that endless cycle of then you won't be in existence, and it won't cause a paradox, because if you use the multiverse theory, that completely takes the whole paradox out of the equation. So, if that was complicated, I know time travel is complicated. I might explain it even further in a future video, who knows. I could always do a time travel video going over the different types of time travel. And then it says below, because this one has two questions, more importantly, what is your favorite way to eat Spam? Now, if you didn't watch that most recent video, my character, who has my name, references Spam. And my favorite way to eat Spam, I'd have to say, it's just plain old putting it on between two breads and like a piece of cheese or something. Just make a sandwich out of it. You use the Spam patty. You like cut it up into a nice chunk. That would be a nice little patty for your sandwich. Then put like bread, Spam, cheese, and then like anything else really. And then just make a sandwich out of it. That is my favorite way to eat Spam. Now, to be fair, I haven't really eaten it any other way, so. But anyway, that is the last of the questions. I'm going to quickly take off this filter and see if I missed any. In which, well, let's see. I'll always check this. Let's see. Okay, I did miss a question. Now, I won't be able to catch these questions every time, but since there's so few, I will be able to answer this one now. Though I will try to get as many questions as I can. The best way for you to question me is by putting that word question in front of it, or else I will probably miss it. But it's hard to remember such things, so I'll let this one slide. Okay, this question is from user Brenda Fry. And it says, will Hudson return as a guest while you interview another friend? Now, I will have another friend on that show for me to interview on the talked show that I've just made. I've just came up with the title as I first started making this video. So if you go back to that video, you will see that it has a completely different title than it was if you watched it before. The original title was The Interview, Episode 1, My Friend Hudson. I've changed it so that way it would fit the show a lot better. The show Talked, as in T-O-C-K-E-D, Talked, as in the clock. It will make sense in the future, but you just have to find out whether or not Hudson will return. Will he return? Let's find out. Will he be accepted? What will happen? What was that little weird blip in the middle of the interview? We still don't know, but we will find out in a future episode of Talked. Alright, so that is officially the end of the questions. Now it is time for the closing. Alright, so that was my questions. So, just to remind you, if you ever want to question me for these Q&A videos that I've decided to make every week, or as much as I can, because I want to be able to answer any of your questions, because that would flesh out my personality for anyone watching. So, if you ever want to ask me any questions, please put in the comments below the word question and then your question. And if you want to suggest any videos that you would want me to do, you can put in the comments the word video idea and then your video idea. So that way I'll easily be able to search up any of these questions or video ideas, because I might want to do them. I might not have thought of them before, and it would actually be really good for me to do them. So that is the end of this episode of The Rowen Show. See you later, and look out for the next video. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, just to say that YouTube phrase, and click the notification bells to make sure you see the next video. Yeah, YouTube phrase. So yeah, bye.